Christmas, come and see. Every day a new face, join the spree. From trials to tales, it's all so bright. Let's celebrate and stream tonight. Old and new friends, big and small, streamers unite, we welcome all. Get cozy, grab your cocoa, don't be late. Join the fun, it's gonna be great. Creators for Christmas, come and see. Every day a new face, join the spree. From trials to tales, it's all so bright. Let's celebrate and stream tonight. Old and new friends, big and small, streamers unite, we welcome all. Get cozy, grab your cocoa, don't be late. Join the fun, it's gonna be great. Creators for Christmas, come and see. Every day a new face, join the spree. From trials to tales, it's all so bright. Let's celebrate and stream tonight. The holidays are here, so let's unite. Creators from near and far in the limelight. Together we shine, spreading joy and cheer. Streaming side by side, the best time of year. Creators for Christmas, come and see. Every day a new face, join the spree. From trials to tales, it's all so bright. Let's celebrate and stream tonight.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whoever you are, what if any you are. And let me do this because we have hopefully a few foreign guests here, so now I'm going to butcher the German language. Willkommen zu unserer Serie 12 Creators for Christmas. Heute haben wir ein ganz besonderes Gast, alles nur geklaut, eine YouTuber aus Deutschland. Er deckt viele die gleichen Gerichtsverhandlungen wie ich ab, aber mit dem einzigartigen Twist, dass er alles in Deutsch übersetzt. Das Gespräch wird auf Englisch stattfinden, aber wenn ihr im Chat auf Deutsch schreibt, würden wir unser Bestes tun, um es für die englischsprachigen Zuschauer zu übersetzen und zu beantworten. Wenn ihr Fragen habt, könnt ihr mit dem roten Fragezeichen-Emoji verwenden, damit es leichter zu sehen ist. Und nun habe ich die deutsche Sprache genug ruiniert. Lasst uns gemeinsam das Englische ruinieren und unser neuer Freund herzliches Willkommen hießen.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. That was actually great. You're really good. Yeah,
was, well,
you're good.
I hope that that was kind of okay. AI helped me out with that one. But welcome so much, Harry. Alles nur geklaut.
Thank you so much for having me. So I am a true crime YouTuber from Germany, and as you said, what I do is I basically look at trials in the US of A. Most of the time. Sometimes I pick obscure cases from Japan or Russia or somewhere. But anyway, I translate stuff into German and, of course, analyze it and comment on things. But yeah, that's my deal. Hi.
What's your background? Because, of course, I translate everything to English in my head, but doing this simultaneously, that takes some skill. When I first found you, I was doing that, hitting the lives. One time I was done streaming, so I just hitting live, and I thought, that's weird. You were covering Karen Reed or Sarah Boone, I think, and I jumped into a chat. I was so impressed that you could do the Simo translation.
Oh, well, but so we had a nice backstage conversation before we started this, and Baker told me how people in Denmark learn English, or how Baker learned English by watching James Bond movies that were translated into German. So what the Germans do is we translate everything into German, and for better or worse, right? But so I basically learned English the same way you learned German. So I watched a lot of movies, I started playing video games, and of course the internet, all of that, all the good stuff is in English, of course. And I'm not much of a guy for dubs, right? For dubbing, not my cup of tea somehow. And so I prefer watching the original stuff. And I also I was born in the Soviet Union, and so my parents when we came to Germany, only spoke Russian, right? And so all of us, I was 4 years old, we learned German. And so translating in real time is basically something I do from early childhood on, is the answer to that. And of course, there was Russian and German and vice versa, but kind of the thing of translating and doing it fast and doing it so people understand it is kind of what I always have done as an amateur, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's still and you don't have that stupid Danish accent I have. So everyone, I don't know why I'm always being told I'm Dutch. I'm too short to be Dutch, but
nobody can see that, right? Nobody. You're sitting down, so nobody can see that.
I was actually in Rome on a vacation once, and because I'm a big fella, they thought I was a German.
Interesting. I'm not tall myself, so I wouldn't know what that's like.
Oh, well, I'm not big that way. I'm big. I'm wide.
I see now. And so they thought you're German. How is that at all related?
I don't. Well, we might in Denmark call you sausage sprouts, because it's the ingrained European racism against each other.
I love it. My favorite racism, inner European, by the way, is from the French to the English and the other way around. Yeah. I once was witness to an amazing argument in which a Frenchman and an English dude basically, I don't know, rehashed the last 5,000 years of history and animosity between France and Britain, and it was just grand. It was very good.
It's the same with us in Sweden. I might almost every stream mention how Sweden is hell.
But so the only kind of well, I'm not sure if racist is the right word, but everyone, like the Scandinavians, say that nobody understands the Danish, right? So the Norse is kind of and Swedish is kind of intelligible, like mutually, right? But Danish, nobody gets it, which is funny somehow to me.
We apparently speak with a potato in our mouth.
That's what they tell. That's what they say, right?
And see, we are multilingual. No, but that's the beauty about the internet. I know everyone is, social media is ruining the world, and we always fight on the twat, but it's also making it possible for people all around the world to watch a Dane and a German discuss our love for American court system. Why did you get into the true crime court streaming?
Well, so I'm not sure if there's a charming way to tell this story, but it was Corona, it was COVID, and in Europe there were severe lockdowns, of course, and so everyone and their mothers were watching Depp v. Heard, right? Yeah. And so I kind of was scrolling through YouTube, because what else is there to do, right? And I saw that some guy was actually doing what I started doing afterwards. He was live translating the trial, and he was butchering it. There's no kind way to say it. It wasn't good, right? It wasn't. I mean, nobody's perfect, but it was a hack job. And so I thought, well, I can do this better on Molly and drunk and without sleep for 3 days. So I thought, no, I'm going to do this. I don't care. I have no idea how to stream, but OBS, I can manage. Let's go. And so I started like from day 20 of Depp v. Heard. And in the end, I think wasn't the verdict, but like the closing arguments and the verdict were watched by like 20,000 people live. So it was crazy. Like everyone was on YouTube. Amazing. Yeah. And so that's how it started, actually, with the streaming of true crime and so on. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's I think most of us started at least watching it around those times. That's when it really blew up with Nick Rekieta brought all of that, what they started calling LawTube, getting all the lawyers on and discussing it. And I was watching it back then. I thought my interest is more because I'm a layman in Denmark. I don't know how your German court system is, but in Denmark, We have elected laymen as instead of jurors, so we we have a 4-year period that we serve at a time.
Okay.
And so for me, it was the technical, the business side of it. I thought that's so weird because in Danish court we just do this, just this. So that's how I started watching it, because again, I'm a layman and been it for 13 years.
Yeah.
And then I did the same during the coup, where I lost my dad under the second lockdown, and we always used to discuss politics, and we had an election going on. So I started a Danish politics channel. That's
All
going
right.
somewhere. That's 45 subscribers. That's something.
Hey, but you tried, right? I mean, come on.
Hey, I had the most viewed political videos not put out by the mainstream media. I had bigger channel. I had more views than the political parties, so it worked.
Yeah, well, there you go. But actually, that's actually appalling. You know, like that political parties are not using, especially in Europe, obviously, not using TikTok as much, not using YouTube as much. It's crazy. It boggles the mind, right?
We did it. We had one party, the Liberal Alliance, did it the last time. It really got a hook in the young people. Now everyone else is trying it.
Oh yeah.
And they do that cringe-worthy, oh, look at me, fellow kids. And Zach, my goodest friend, alles Gluten knocking, I speak German like Jermaine Jackson. To you, good sir, and may all... He's just happy that he can, in super chats, my Nightbot doesn't yell at him for using all caps. Thank you, Zach. Idiot.
Thank you very much, Zach. Oh yeah, this is a thing I was asking Baker about when we were doing the pre-show, like about the post-its back there, and it's a very nice detail.
Yeah, but it's because talking about rackets back then, he had so many viewers. He said, "Oh, I can't read it unless it's $20 and up." And then I saw another streamer do the sticky thing, and they didn't put things up unless it was $20. And I thought, but $2 for you can be as much as $100 for someone else.
Exactly, yeah.
And if you want to support a channel, why should I say, well, you're not good enough? It's the same. A lot of people won't take up D-Dog and said, is there a European version of YouTube? Yes, it's called YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube is basically, except for China, maybe it's everywhere, right?
Yeah, Gebrochner Becker. Yeah, my real name is too hard to listen to Americans try to pronounce, so that's why I just go by Baker. That's international. But no, I try to be a little more inclusive, because a lot of people are really... I started out interacting a lot with a chat. A friend of mine called Dave, a lawyer from I can't remember, Minnesota, Michigan, one of the M states. And I was in his chat and asking stupid questions because, again, I'm a layman and had technical questions. He said, hey, I want to learn about the Danish system. And then we did a stream together like you and I did now. And he said, you can do this in English. Why don't you do that? And can you help me cover a case? And that's how I got started.
I see.
And that was a stupid case out of... It wasn't the case was good, but then they went to if it should be a DP case. One of the words we can't say on YouTube.
Oh, I see. Oh, you can see, but you can say DP, but you can say DP. Interesting.
Yeah, it's both of them aren't good things, but well, depends if you like it. But
which one is which? Forget about it.
Well, yeah, this is a good Christian channel. Harry,
I'm sorry.
Wie bist du darauf gekommen?
Worauf, Jasmin? Was meinst du? What do you mean? How did I? So yeah, Baker's name is a state secret. I also, yeah. TikTok is Müll, says Marissa. Yeah, kind of, but it's very useful garbage, right?
But we always have this. Oh, I hate this, and my kids is the TikTok generation, and I'm this is so effing annoying and everything, because we do the long form content because that's what people like to do.
Yeah.
In our, we went from news being longer form, and then they did the CNN thing where everything was sped up and everything must maximum be 2 minutes, and you didn't get into the depth of it. And that's why people went to YouTube, because we can discuss stuff. And then the next generation going right back to the 35 seconds or I'm idle here. So yeah.
Oh yes, ich verstehe nur nichts. Justus, es geht gerade darum, dass die Aufmerksamkeitsspanne immer geringer geworden ist und dass Leute jetzt eher auf TikTok und kurzes Format stehen und nicht so wie wir hier die langen Klopper raushauen. Das ist gerade, worum es geht. So, yeah.
How did we get in contact? Well, I stumbled into his chat one day, and thank you,
that's
Squid Pro for the raid. Or just got raided. I just had to say.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I was in his chat and started asking. Well, I tried to write in German, and I can't do that anymore. I can speak it a little bit, but not that. I understand it, but I can't speak or write it that well. And then you asked me for some things in the Sarah Boone.
Oh yeah, exactly. I actually wanted to get your opinion on stuff, and so that's how we got talking. But by the way, speaking of which, I actually wanted to ask your opinion, or like the latest, about Karen Reed and what Judge Beth actually posted. Or no, not posted. I'm sorry, posted. Blah. I mean, what was the ruling about?
Well, the ruling was that the trial got delayed. It was supposed to go on the 27th of January. But both sides had filed a motion to postpone it till the 1st of April, which I find is a perfect day for this case to go again, April Fool's Day. But she gave them the delay, but it didn't say a date, so it's just pushed.
I see. And so, but I heard she hasn't, her attorney, which did a glorious job in the last trial, so she has a new guy. Is that right? A new main lawyer, like the star lawyer, is not in the team anymore. On the team.
No. It's the same team. They just added one more person to the team.
Oh, they even added another one.
Yeah. So it's AJ and AJ and Janetti is still the lead attorneys, and then Miss Little, and then a guy out of New York. I can't remember his name. But I
special
think
prosecutor. Oh.
Yeah, he's not a prosecutor, but I think his specialty is. I want to say something about the media, because I don't know if you saw it. They were allowed, the DA got his motion to get all of the on-aired content from NBC or CBS, whatever channel it was, and that Voss journalist, her notes. But how can you bring in notes? Notes are subjective. That's her opinion. It's not that would be hearsay. I don't understand how. Oh yeah, and there is a new prosecutor on the case. I'm sorry if that was the one. They have brought in a guy, paying him $75,000 to lead the case, so Lally can just sit right next to him and do nothing.
I see. All right. And so while we're on this topic, like the second time around, how do you think this will go down? Do you think it will be the same outcome in perpetuity? Like, what's it going to be?
I still, I don't know if you know Mark Betterow. He's also on the Turtle Boy case that runs kind of parallel to this one. He's a lawyer out of New York. I have had him on a few times, talked to him, and I said, I still believe a Friday afternoon at around 5 o'clock, they will at least drop charges 1 and 3. I can't see them building a case where charge 1, because there's no planning. There's no. She didn't want to cause his death. They can't prove. They tried with the Aruba stuff, which was ridiculous. That she was mad. He might have been a little too close to a younger woman a month before. So I still think they will drop the. But again,
I see. I see. Yeah, let's see how this goes down. Interesting.
Thank you,
Oh,
Gisela.
Gisela, that's so nice.
Gisela.
Dankeschön. Vielen Dank.
Habt ihr mitbekommen, dass der Mörder
Hm.
von Brian Thompson die ganze Zeit uns war?
Wie bitte, Justus? Wie meinen? Man hat seinen Rucksack gefunden. So no, but this is about the that's actually also I wanted to.
The CEO killer.
Yeah, the CEO killer, right? And his name via New York Post is Luigi Mangione, an ex-Ivy League student. So this guy apparently. So in case you haven't heard about it, which I don't believe for a second, it's about the killing of the United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. And so they found a person, and apparently he was eating at a McDonald's in Altoona, PA, and so he showed a fake ID as he did in New York when he was there. And yeah, and so apparently they are interviewing him. I think they got him. Did they get him? Yeah, I think they got him.
Yeah, they have him under arrest. They picked him up, I think around 4 or 5 hour time today. So that'll be 10, 11 o'clock. It's
They haven't charged him though. No charges yet.
No.
And
but,
he has a manifesto. Interestingly enough.
Yeah,
Like,
and apparently
what
he was a big fan of the Unabomber.
Yeah, exactly. So, what's your do you have a take on this? What's your opinion about this?
I want to see. Maybe I've been watching trials too much from the US. I really want to see. I want to see where the goods are buried before I'll jump on it. I think the aftermath of it is very troubling. The amount of people who were out there saying he should get away with it because the predatory system that they have in the US with the healthcare, but that's kind of a slippery slope. That if I don't like the way you run your business, I can go take care of business. So
it was very bloodthirsty, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I thought that was. You're the guinea fowls. Mine are the muffin tops.
Yeah. So we're the guinea fowls. But this stems from the Murdoch case, right? Alec Murdoch, and there were some fowls in cages, and it wasn't quite clear what they used them for. It is said that you can use them like guard dogs. So they apparently they make noises when stuff goes down. But so anyway, somehow this stuck, and now it's guinea fowls for us, and that's how people in the community call themselves. Somehow it's just the way it is. You got to roll with the punches, I guess. So
yeah, you don't get to name your chat, and the chat names itself. Melanie Little have the cupcakes.
That's cute. I love it.
Yeah. Luigi Mangione's uncle Chuck said it feels so good to see him taken into custody. It's some joke I don't understand, and that's a great but obscure, easy listening joke. Zach is he's the dad joke of the channel. Thank you, Zach.
Thank you, Zach.
This kid went to high school that cost nearly $38,000 a year. He's not downtrodden by medical bills. No, but a lot of people who go out there and have the time to be socially active is mostly if they have an affluent background. You see that a lot in Copenhagen.
Sure.
The ones who we just had some people do the stupid thing, throwing food at the priceless art, and of course their parents are well off, because who else? Helene T is actually of Austria.
All right.
So, she can understand German.
But so I kind of we got off track with the Murdoch and the fowls and the cupcakes with the Luigi Mangione. So this is interesting. So I guess it's so difficult. I guess there's another topic I wanted to talk to you about. It's considering somehow, the politics of it all and the culture war of it all. I have the feeling that So, for example, there was, alas, I forgot his name, a person acquitted who choked to death a person on the subway who was apparently threatening people, and then he kind of had him in a stranglehold, in a chokehold, and the guy died. Apparently, crazy person, homeless. And so he got acquitted. I think it was today, or
Yeah.
Daniel Penny. Thank you so much. Thank you, chat. And so this, I have the feeling that this gets used kind of for the conservative audience, right? And they say, of course, he must be acquitted. He was stand your ground, and yeah, he did the right thing, and so on and so on. And then you have this murder where someone with a silencer and a gun murders I'm sorry, Red Rums, a CEO, not in broad daylight, but on a New York street, and this kind of makes the left happy, but then again, conservatives or more conservative commentators or media are like, oh, "What the hell are you doing? That's murder. It's not the flippin' French Revolution. What gives?" And so, I guess my question is, which side are you on? No, I'm kidding. Of course, grifter. No, I'm just joking here. But I guess, do you have the feeling that in the USA, like the judicial system is kind of, I don't know, warped by this culture war stuff? Do you think it has an effect on the outcome of verdicts?
Yeah, I've said that many a time. I don't like that politics enters the courtroom. You have elected judges, you have DAs running for re-election. Look at the Karen Reed case again. It's this. I'm gonna get you. The Alex Murdoch case was also heavily influenced by some old hatred, probably generational hatred, because his dad was a big guy too in the court system. I think we see it a lot in America, but we also see it a little bit in Europe. But we kind of are able to keep politics out of the courtrooms, even though there's pressure on the courts. We see it in Denmark too. Every time we have a trial that ends anyway, the politicians don't like it. We're going to change the laws. But I think the biggest problem in the US is you have this constant, I'm going to get reelected. I need to show I can get the big guys. And they might, like again in the Karen Reed case, if we can just pin it on someone, it doesn't matter if it's the right one. We saw it. I don't know if you know the Adam Montgomery case or the Harmony Montgomery case.
Oh no!
5-year-old kid allegedly to death by her father.
Jesus.
I still think she OD'd in the car because they were both very, very heavy into drug use. Her stepmom got 14 years for perjury, served 3.5 years because she testified against the dad in court. She was with him for 2 months while they carried a bag around with that poor little girl in. She got 3.5 years in prison because she sang so they could put him away for life. I think...
well, Jesus. And also, I see your point. So it sounds to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, like you're saying, yeah, it does influence what happens in the courts. I see.
Yeah, Marissa has it right here that the DA is trying to put away the bad guys, but and again, the thing they didn't expect in the Karen Reed case was she had the biggest brass. She fought them instead of just taking a plea deal. They could check it off and said, "We got him." And
also she had a brilliant team. I mean, come on, the work of this lawyer, Jesus H. Christ. He could have, I don't know, acquit Satan if he wanted to. It's amazing.
Yeah,
what he did.
And that's, I think that's another problem because she spent well over $3 million on her own defense. Money she probably can't recoup. It's not in Denmark. She would,
except if she sells the rights to her story to Netflix or some such, and then she has it back with interest, right?
Hopefully, or she can sue the state or something. But I don't know how it is in Germany, but in Denmark, we don't have a public prosecutors, public defense. It's just every lawyer in Denmark, you can point and say, I want that one. And if they are free, they will represent you.
All
And
right.
of course, you'll have to pay them. They'll have a rate that they get per hour. And if you can't pay them, the state will make sure they get paid. And then you'll, of course, own the money to the state. But you can get the best defense lawyer for stealing a bike, basically, if you took it to court.
Interesting. So again, another difference in how the justice system, like in Denmark and the USA, work, right? Interesting also what you said about the elected officials. So officials have to perform, like quite literally, right? They have to perform in several ways by putting away bad guys and also by making the right decisions, which is I'm not sure how to solve this. I mean, there are upsides and downsides, like for every system, and the US system seems kind of it kind of works, and it's not a failed state by any stretch of the imagination. Or is it? What do we have American citizens in the chat? What do you think? Or even not citizens, what do you think about the American system?
And Stephen was in Augsburg 50 years ago.
Oh, nice. But that was West Germany back then, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's another thing. Sometimes when we sit here and talk, and then Die Mauer fell and blah, and I think, probably not most Americans really don't know what Die Mauer was and what happened back then and how it was a big thing in Europe. They probably remember it coming down, but not why it was such a big thing.
So I'm just gonna very quickly make a translation for Justus. Also, worum es gerade geht, ist, dass die beiden Rechtssysteme in den USA und in Europa, in Dänemark zum Beispiel, total unterschiedlich sind und wie sich die Struktur des Rechtssystems auf die Urteile auswirkt und vor allem die Politisierung der USA auswirkt auf die Urteile. Und da haben wir festgestellt, weil bestimmte Ämter gewählt werden, bestimmte Anwälte, bestimmte Richter etc., ist es durchaus so, dass Politik Gerichtsurteile bestimmt. So, da sind wir gerade. I'm sorry, that was my German summary of all.
Thank you so much, because I can't do it enough in German. But thank you to all the German viewers here, and I hope we are clear enough. If Zach can follow along, most people should be able to. He took the short bus to school. How many people have been pewed in New York and no national coverage? One CEO. Well, it's again the difference is, you accept that in certain environments there will be some bad things going on. We have it right now in Denmark. We have in Copenhagen, right outside, they have a little bit of a territorial strife going on about the lucrative markets, and we had I think 3 people caught some bullets last week.
Jesus,
it happens.
I'm sorry for the profanity, by the way, and speaking the Lord's name in vain. I know Americans are sometimes a bit touchy when it comes to that. It's blasphemy is normal for Europeans. It's a very secular society. So if you see me blaspheme, it's okay. I don't mean it in a blasphemous way. It's just a turn of phrase. I somehow I'm used to do that.
Yeah, I said Jesus Christ a lot, and then someone texted me said. So I'm becoming mindful of it, but that's again that's the culture. I love the culture shock that we get. I spent a week with the expert. He's trying to get you on his show, but it's Friday nights when we're sleeping, so he's always looking for new guests. But I spent a week with him in Tennessee, and it's so different from what we know.
Oh yeah.
I was living with him and going around with them, so it's not the tourist thing like going to New York or some of those places.
Yeah,
and got to meet a congressman, and that was cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was he knows people. Thank you so
Interesting.
much. But he it just shows you how big the culture difference is.
Yeah.
But it's the same here in Europe. Scandinavia, kind of the same. Germany is one thing.
Yeah.
We all see you as boring people who are always on time and make everything
we
wrong.
are boring, humorless pricks. Basically, is what we are.
Yeah, but
It's
you will be
yeah.
on time.
But we will be on time. Yeah, it's so boring. I sometimes I bore myself to death. Literally, it's depressing, really. But so I just I wanted to pick up on something that Jeebus. Yeah, I'll say Jeebus from now on. Thank you, Outline
Yeah.
Red. So what Rage Crochet was writing, Jizo Pete's is what you said.
Yeah, that's my co-host
cute.
Jamie. She's on with a lot of streams.
Yeah.
She's the one who watches my stream the least, but she's on them a lot. She is always Jizo. She's from the Midwest, so she has all these funny Midwestern sayings. And
yeah, let's become Midwest all of a sudden. Jizo, what was it again?
Jizo Pete's.
Jizo Pete's. Jolly good. But Rage Crochet said something like, corruption sucks, but most of us do believe in our justice system and that it is the best way. At least I do. Yeah, I guess I mean, how to improve on something which obviously works, the USA being like the leading country in the world still, not overtaken by China yet. Sometimes the US system sucks, says Forever Not Me, but sometimes they get it right. As with any country's core system, there's always seems to be some corruption. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and I grew up with 2 German parents, and now you live in Britain. So
that's a step up, I would say. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. It's,
well, with the political environment, and I would probably rather be in Germany right now than in Britain.
It's actually interesting in Germany, but I won't bore our audience with German politics. But let's not go there.
Well, we can talk German and Danish and British politics. We can't talk American politics. That'll get everything demonetized in a. Harry nun sagt doch bitte, wie du darauf gekommen bist, etwas mit Broken Baker zu machen. Find ich echt klasse.
So Jasmine asks how it came to be that Baker and I are sitting here, and the answer is simple. Das ist einfach so, dass Baker an mich rangetreten ist, hat mir geschrieben, hey du, ich mache da so 12 Creator vor Weihnachten, hast du Bock mitzumachen? Wann hast du denn Zeit? Und dann hat er mir eine Liste geschickt, ich habe mich eingetragen und da sitzen wir auch. Also das ist alles auf Bakers Mist gewachsen. Just saying that the initiative, it all came from Baker, of course, who had the great idea to do that. I like that a lot. It's so cool. Thank you very much again for having me. You're great.
No, we are all our own bosses and our own little. I've been doing this for 2 years now, and I have that feeling that sometimes people are very protective, and in reality, we open up the world for. You can see. The dog age ask if you have any streams in English, and because the world opens up, and of course you have a great audience in German as well, but it's still. You could have Helena T. I don't know if she follows you, or Helen from Holland. They could sit there and think, "Oh, we can understand German enough that we can sit and watch it with Harry." It doesn't have to be an American streamer. And I had a lot of people giving me a leg up when I started out. Dave, who made me do it in English and.
Oh yeah,
and then you get to know a few people, and they're gracious enough to have you on. So I thought we are always just sitting here in our own little world and doing our own. And we've talked about it earlier about doing something, and time always passes. And I thought, no, F it. And some of the people I've talked to said yes. Then family's coming early, and so I'm still scrambling behind the scenes. But I think it's a good idea to. I would say you're a mid-sized YouTube channel. I reached out to some who are for our level, but it's big YouTube channels. And I think the smallest I reached out to has like 400 subscribers because maybe I can help them get to 500 or something like that. It's to help people out and show people that the world isn't only those 3 channels you follow, and you might find someone who is actually really, really fun to watch.
Have you asked Emily D. Baker?
No, I haven't reached out.
She's big, right? She's like, she got a million subs or something, right? She's huge.
I think that's beyond where the biggest one who said yes this time is Legal Vices. He's like 80,000 subscribers.
That's totally huge. Well, great. Yeah.
Was ist mit Karen Reed? Well, you should probably tell her about the ruling in German, because I can't do that.
Karen Reed, da haben sie einfach nur den Anfang der zweiten Verhandlung verschoben und sie haben im Verteidigungsteam einen neuen Anwalt. Das ist es eigentlich. But so yeah, right.
Danke.
Oh, it is.
Oh, crochet isn't that German?
But but then again, maybe crochet is not.
Oh,
the last
yeah,
name.
you can change names on online.
Or maybe it is. She's huge. Yeah, she is, isn't she? But she's also very good.
Yeah, and I was talking to, I think it was last week I had the expert on. I do some morning streams when I don't oversleep like I did this morning. And we were talking about, did we not do it on? I can't remember. We're talking about where LawTube started and all the people we used to watch and how few of them actually do the same stuff still. Emily D. Baker is one of the few, and Legal Vices are one of those who
Are they the OGs?
Well, they started out on, Emily did it before Bricada, but was also around the Bricada times where everything blew up. But other than that, a lot of those people who kind of started out being LawTubers, or what they called themselves, have moved on to something different. And then there's this undergrowth of smaller channels who covers it. And it's fun to see how many, because it's a big market.
It is, and actually, my stream is constantly evolving in some ways. For example, I started out covering like the whole day, which to be frank, took way too much time, like 8-hour days, 9-hour days, and I still have, other things to do, like acting and some such, or having a life, for example. And I started very neutral and very just translation, and now I make more analyses. I am painting stuff to kind of explain concepts and so on. So it kind of evolves into something right now. I don't know where the journey takes me, but yeah, it's always kind of evolving.
Yeah, and I think you see a lot of people maybe being afraid and just do the same. I love the thing that you don't. I sit down, do a trial from gavel to gavel, boom. But you today it's Sarah Boone, tomorrow it's Karen Reed, then it's whatever it tickles your fancy. You don't sit here and do these. Well, right now I should be covering a murder in Vermont, but I would rather do this because it's boring. But you switch up a lot, and I like that because I think a lot of people just falls into a groove and just keep doing it, and that's also why I do this, because I'm so afraid that they'll grow moss on me. What lichen? I think it's called.
So you choose to be a Rolling Stone, right?
Yeah,
I see. No, I think that's the way to go, and I couldn't do it any other way. Actually, that's how this true crime thing started. Before I was doing true crime, I started doing YouTube. I was like, it was the pandemic. Everything was shut down. I'm an actor by trade, and so I was a stage actor back then, and no television, no film acting back then. I started doing that only kind of recently, but so everything was closed down. No shows, no theater. And so how is one, if the place where you're working is shut down, how are you supposed to make money, right? Or how are you supposed to survive or create? And that's where I kind of I pitched my wife the idea that instead of fleeing social media, like I didn't do TikTok, I didn't do Facebook, well, I'm still not doing TikTok, didn't do Instagram and no YouTube. And I said, I have to be active, proactive, and use YouTube promote me to create something. And I started out like doing parodies of other channels, other stuff, other forums that other people created. I kind of satire, I parodied them. And this is actually where my YouTube journey started, and it was transformed by Deb V. Heard, and I started true crime, basically. So this is why I'm sitting here. Hi.
Yeah, and it's funny how we get started and where we end up, but it's also, I think it's a strength that you dare, because a lot of people are afraid. If you have your groove, it works. You do that, income is okay. Your audience is okay,
and also the algorithm likes it. Actually, what YouTube is supposed to be is you find a thing you do, and this thing is popular, and you do it over and over and over again, and you just cash in. Your channel grows, and somewhere down the line you sell out or something, and that's how it's supposed to go. But I'm bored too easily if I would do the same thing, I guess.
Yeah, I have it the same way. When things start to become routine, I'll be the one who just goes and kicks the tires, because I can't do that. I'll need something. Gerda K is our friend out of South Africa.
All right, hello Gerda.
It's funny again, but no, I have, because again we deal with a lot of crazy cases and bad stuff. So every Saturday I have a 2-hour show with Mo in the Deep End. She's one of the funniest people alive. She's naturally, it's not an act. It's not something it's just funny to talk to her and be on stream with her. And we have this every Saturday where we just sit and do nothing for 2 hours. In the beginning, it was, okay, I'm going to read someone. I had some, where the readers write into that paper and ask, oh, my boyfriend likes to wear women's clothes. Should I be afraid? And all of these crazy stories. and then
just kidding. Yeah.
But and it kind of became a little bit formulaic. And then I thought, nope, didn't like the way it was. And then I started inviting, because there's a lot of people out there who think, oh, maybe this is for me. Maybe I should do YouTube. And I said, hey, if you want to be on, I have on my Discord, you can write up, and I have I call them angels that helps me out on Saturdays, and they can come on the show, or I can invite someone else, or we just do it alone. And it's just, again, just to hang out and be cool with everyone and chill out, because
that sounds nice.
It's so much annoying stuff on YouTube. Everyone's so negative all the time.
YouTube tends to be negative sometimes, but also I think this is a function of the algorithm, right? So rage bait, like super divisive stuff, culture wars, as interesting as it may be, kind of building on negativity. And it's so great that you're such a positive guy, actually, and reaching out to connect. That's so cool. I like that very much.
Yeah, but and again, I don't know where in Germany you live, but I live a couple of hours, maybe no more than 10 hours away from you. And I would never ever know you existed if I didn't get a hit on the algorithm, because I never watched German stuff. So it must have been because you were covering a case I was covering, so the algorithm said, oh, you must like this.
Oh yeah, true. Right.
And that's that. And again, why not reach out and try and build and show people how cool you are, so that you can get some love too. And
exactly.
It's
but what we also could do is, I mean, the next phase would be that we kind of, we write a script, we write a drama script, act 1, act 2, act 3, and it's a 3-act play, and we need to have an arc. You know what? I say something controversial about you in my stream, you badmouth me in your stream, we post it on Reddit so people get the wrong impression, and Jesus Christ, we got engagement. Let's do the playbook.
Let's do the drama. It always works out.
Yeah, it always works. It does. It actually does. I think behind the scenes, YouTube can be, yeah, exactly. MLS.
No, it's just Dave had a little bit of problem. He got false flagged and lost his channel, so he knows all
Oh
about
no.
Obama.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh no. What do you mean false flagged? What happened? Jeebus.
Well, he got some BS copyright claims against his channel, and
Oh, come on.
so and that's the part I don't like, because we can argue, we can. I normally do I do like all my girlfriends does, just stop talking to me. So if I don't like you, I don't talk about you. I'll just move on, because why stir the pot? But some people are doing that crazy stuff where, oh, I'll just flag your channel and get it taken down. Can we both discuss a case together? Well, we've been discussing Karen Reed tonight.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. I think I mean, behind the scenes, I sometimes do ask Baker about stuff or his opinion on stuff, because he's very knowledgeable in that department. Oh, what was that? I missed that.
I keep returning here day after day. I didn't watch Karen Reed. It let me heard. I like the culture and positive, humorous environment.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah.
Yeah, and your chat is the same. It's very open, very warm, and I like that. But I think it's because you do the positive angle, because you see those people who are really riding one side or the other. They get a very polarized chat. If you don't feel the same way I do, I will attack you mercilessly and force you out of the chat. Me and my good friend Sue here, I don't know, did you watch the Ashley Benefield trial? The ballerina. Yeah,
I did. I did the verdict a couple of days ago. Yeah.
And,
not the verdict. I'm sorry, the sentencing. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. But we disagreed wholeheartedly. I thought,
well, good.
I could see reasonable doubt, and Sue said, nope, she clearly did it. And we are grown-ups. So Sue said, that's okay. And I said, that's fine. And we just move on. In other chats, sometimes it feels like the streamer is, if you don't have this, I'll send my brigade after you and force you out. And why that? Because no one has fun in an echo chamber. It grows stale.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Interesting, right? Huh.
Yeah, but you see it a lot on I followed a lot of comics and movie channels some years ago, but everything just turned Disney's crap. Star Wars is dead. Everything is bad. And when I watched the movies, I thought, well, it's not a 10 out of 10, but it's a good popcorn flick.
Somehow we loped back around and kind of arrived at the culture war and political thingy I asked you about. Does it have effect on courts? I think we're back in this territory again, right? It's interesting what it does to communication.
Yeah, and we just had the election. Not to dive into any sides in the American election. I don't do politics because, as Jordan said, Republican buy sneakers too. But here in Europe, it divided us a lot.
Sure, yeah, it did. Oh yeah.
And right now in Denmark, we have a lot of talk about how the media totally was one-sided and didn't cover any negative of one side and only covered negative of the other side.
Yeah.
And is that a Danish media's job, or should they cover everything equally? And and I think medias have probably become too much a part of the culture war. Back in the day, they were giving us the news.
Very true.
Now they are making the news.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big problem in it.
Well, yeah, it's opinion journalism is what that is, and of course, there's it does serve some purpose, but I guess it's the same here in Germany. We didn't hear much about how, I don't know, what the Biden administration did wrong, for example, or like it was very one-sided. But then again, it seemed to be kind of out of whack in the States too, or wasn't it? But so yeah, same here.
And that's what do I think about P. Diddy? Very interesting. Oh yeah, I don't know if you saw that, but JC just got dropped in some lawsuit
Oh, yeah.
today.
Yeah. Civil
I
lawsuit, right?
yeah yeah. I read the six. I read the charges the state brought against him, and then I read the six civil suits that came right after that. I haven't read the latest, but OMG, if it's true, especially that girl in California. I don't. Have you read the lawsuits?
I haven't read the document yet. No.
No, she was. She was. Yeah, let's just say it wasn't nice. A TV remote, several guys, police
Jesus.
didn't believe her.
Jeebus. I mean, of course. I mean, Jeep O Pete's, was it?
Jeep
I'm
O
sorry.
Pete's.
Jeebo Pete's. I'm so sorry for the profanity and for blaspheming. I'm sorry. I'm working on it. But so yeah, no, that all sounds terrible actually about P. Diddy. But so I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Mm-hmm.
No, but the first one was, I think that was someone who just got drugged and raped.
Oh, that's it? No, okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but let's just escalate the conflict. The next one was a security guard who got drugged and could feel, because of size difference, at least 3 guys raped him. Then you had a guy who sold a competing brand in a big department store. He forced him, as we call it, give him a mouth hug. Then you had a 16, 17-year-old boy who wanted to break into the music scene, where he said, well, you better drop your pants. So it's a ritual to get in. And the latest one was that in California, where someone tried to impress a girl by saying, I know Diddy. So she called him and she said, yeah, I don't give a F about him because he was involved in Tupac's murder.
Mm.
And she was then lured to an apartment where she was drugged, raped with a remote control, threatened with a pew-pew. And when she went to the police, they didn't believe her. She went to 3 different police departments.
Jeez, oh Pete. And so, but with the, do you think he killed Tupac? Or had him killed, I should say.
I don't know.
Do you think this will come out? Will this like be the true crime news of 2025? Like, case solved. It was flippin' P. Diddy.
I think I think there will be a little bit of the Harvey Weinstein and Epstein's over this one too. That you won't hear everything because it's just too high up in the system. That the people around it. You'll have Oprah, you'll have Jay-Z, you'll have Beyonce, you'll have so many of the culture-bearing icons that could get knocked down by this. That you could probably he could fall down a stair or something, fall out of his top bunk and
somehow.
Yeah. So we Austrians wouldn't excuse ourselves for any profanities. No, but Helena, that's like we said in the beginning, it's a cultural difference between we probably use the F word more in Denmark than they use in the US. So,
oh yeah, and so I guess one can't avoid when asked about Diddy. Do you think like 2 lists will come out next year, or one of the 2? Do you think there will be a Diddy list coming out, and will there finally be an Epstein list coming out? What's your take?
With the election, the Epstein list could possibly come. Depends on how many people are still pulling weight inside the system. If they clean house and put that out, but it'll put American politics in ruins because it's all the big brokers on both sides that could be in trouble. So I think that will probably never see the light of day in its fullest. But a Diddy list, again, yeah, I think are they relevant? The people they could Jay-Z isn't really making music anymore. It's
But still, there's a lot of wealth involved. There's still a lot of influence involved, and so one could possibly argue that, for example, maybe some, I don't know, some A-listers out of Hollywood will find themselves on a list or two, and so this, of course, also would be. I think there's a connection to, like, establishment-wise. Of course, Hollywood is not just about power as is politics with the Epstein list, but there, I don't know, maybe there's even some mingling or some intersection there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, I think when you're on that level, you're all, but it's,
imagine you appear on both lists. Imagine if you're on both lists.
Yeah. Oh, let's check that one off. That's a big one. But you have it in Germany as well. When they get to that high level, if
they all know each other. They all know each other. They party with each other.
If you're playing for Bayern Munich,
sure,
politicians in Munich. That's just how it is. And you
yeah,
have the same in Denmark. They hang out with each other and get intermingled because everyone wants to rub on each other. Well,
like literally phrasing. Yeah.
But I think there is some kind of movement also in Hollywood where they kind of know they've gone too far in the way they have acted. So now they need a hard reset, kind of like after the 80s, where every movie was made on a ton of cocaine and they didn't care about money for probably most of it was just money laundering anyway. So the hard reset went into the 90s, totally changed the way movies went away from the 80s action movies and stuff like that. And I think there will be these hard resets now and again, and Hollywood it's cyclical. It'll go around, come around.
It sure is. Mm-hmm. Oh yes.
Only parts of the. Yeah, it's.
That's true. Also interesting. Next, yes, the one, and they move to the next one. They will have overlapping names. Yeah, there will be some overachiever again. There's much money been lost. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. It's Pink now apparently. Well, how about
did you see that one in Florida? Influencer.
In Florida, what influencer?
Oh, I can't remember. I covered it. It was because there was the Courtney Clenny case, and then there was another. She wasn't an OF model. She was
Instagram model, was it?
Yeah, and she was on.
Is it Macy Marie Leathers?
She rammed a family or something like that.
I see. Yeah,
she was the one who said, "I have a crystal ball. I'm from the future." When she was stopped at the scene.
All right. Yeah, I bet it were pink crystals. It seems, and I think she smashed her crystal balls into pink powder and snorted it. Apparently,
it made her see all the colors.
Yeah.
How is the feeling where I live towards your president-elect? Well, they did a survey. 4% would vote for him back then, but all of a sudden, after he became president-elect, a lot of politicians said, well, he wasn't that bad the first time around. So politicians, they change color like a chameleon.
Yeah, they do. They do. And also, not only politicians, which... Oh, I'm sorry. Were you going to read this comment?
No, I normally just pull up and sometimes I'll read it. It's just if I find them interesting.
I think I wanted to add something to what you said just now about hard resets. I'm seeing already, like, it's barely perceptible. It's very faint right now, but so what I like to do is I like to read like hard opposites, right? I for example, at Newswise, I read the New York Post, but then I read The Guardian too, right? I read Washington Post, and I read, and I listen to Fox, and I listen to MSNBC. So I like to get my news from different sources, and somewhere in the middle there may be some truth. And I started noticing that in media, which are considered left and are considered to be like progressive, like just in the turns of phrase, in the wording, in the way they express their thoughts, there's already huge shift changing. It's kind of subtle right now, but also not only in international or American media or UK media, but in Germany as well. Like newspapers considered progressive are changing their wording in a way which wouldn't be possible without this outcome in the election in the US. This is fascinating. They're saying things they wouldn't have put it that way a couple of months ago. It's crazy, interesting.
Yeah, and we can see it here too. To the comment, yes, in the private chat. Instead of writing, but yeah, you can see it. You can see a shift now, and I think it's for the better, because it became quite an echo chamber in the media. So I think a lot of things will change to the better. I don't know. Well, I'm a stupid baker. I don't know anything, but it's yeah, you can clearly tell that the last 2 months have really changed what they're saying.
Yeah.
You have already picked up on it, Alice No geklaut. Very interesting.
So basically, what I literally was reading it was an article in The Guardian. The Guardian, it's like the liberalist of the liberal. It's woke as it gets, right? And so I'm reading a review of the new Disney trailer, right? We're back at Culture Wars, everybody. And so they described the trailer and the effect it had on them, like negative. They didn't like it. They literally said that the dwarves were nightmare fuel, and the author even said something like, "Oh, I'm not sure if I can use these words, but I would, or I'm hesitant to call it nightmare fuels, but that's what it was." And like this turn of phrase is like something the critical drinker or nerdrotic would use, like very conservative leaning influencers on YouTube. And it's so fascinating to see an author for The Guardian put it like this. And it's not just a coincidence. There's a huge shift also, I think, of the collective unconscious, but very, very tangibly in the words they're using. It's fascinating.
Can you translate it for Justus?
Also Justus, es geht gerade darum, ich lese gerne Zeitungen polar gegensätzlich, was Politikeinstellungen angeht. Und ich lese zum Beispiel, habe im Guardian neulich was gelesen, wo sie sich auf eine Art und Weise ausgedrückt haben, wie sie das Monate zuvor nie gemacht hätten. Und das alles, glaube ich, hat damit zu tun, dass in den USA Trump gewählt worden ist. So, that was the kind of summary of that.
But it's been an hour and almost 15 minutes, so
yeah.
I want to leave the floor to you so you can grift a little bit, maybe a few of our people would go over, if one of the mods can share his link as well, and and give you a little like and a little subscription maybe.
That would be great. So I'm Harry. Great that you're.
I'm going to put you on the big screen so you have it for.
Thank you so much. Hi guys.
Stage.
It's us now. Hi. So I do content mostly in German, but it's very, very intelligible German. And also I do cases which are from the US, from other countries. If you speak some German, do come into the community, come into the chat. It's going to be great. There are very nice people there. They're today in this chat too. It's the link is down there. I stream on YouTube. I also stream on Twitch, and I think I wrote the Twitch link as well. So do come. Let's hang out. It's going to be a good time. Thank you so much for having me. You were great.
Yeah, and habe schön subscribed.
Yay.
Thank you, Hyacinth. And I want to thank you, Harry. You were my first of hopefully around 12 creators for Christmas.
Oh, that's an honor. Thank you.
And the good thing about German, if you're South African, so you could probably pick it up pretty quick. The Dutch people understand it. Helena T, of course, of Germany. All our Scandies understand this as well. But thank you so much for being the first on hopefully a good list of people. So nice to finally talk to you, and very
Likewise.
interesting person. And that's the beauty of YouTube.
Oh,
You
yeah.
get to meet people we don't know and find out that even though we're from different countries, we're kind of the same.
Yes.
And think the same thing. No, is Harry is for hire. It looks like Justus is out looking. Thank you all so much for showing up. And people from Germany usually starts talking Dutch to me after a few weeks. Yeah, Roland is from Holland as well. Thank you for joining us over here, Jasmine. And you're from Austria. Yes. Didn't I say that? Did I say something else? I don't want to. But that's good. I will sign off. We'll probably talk a little bit in the background. All you all wonderful people, I'm going to find somewhere to send you to. Tomorrow I'll be back on the Joseph Falazzo trial. And tomorrow I will have... I should really know who I'm bringing on as guest. Tomorrow I will have Massa Media from the Karen Reed trial. I'll have him on for the 12 creators for Christmas tomorrow. Who should we send you to? It's probably not tonight, probably not. I'm going to send you... Oh, I reached out to them today, so they can see my name in chat. If they're still live. I'm not sure they're live. I am a professional. I have everything under control. I'm going to do this real soon. And who wrote me on? That's the expert. Sorry, I should be... No, they ended their stream. Boom, boom, boom. Playing some... I'm going to send you over to Recovery. All of y'all, go over, give Recovery Addict some donuts in chat, and get to bed early. No, I went to bed too early yesterday, and then I overslept. Alles nur geklaut. Bye, danke. It's I learned German from Indiana Jones. Probably not the best place. Yes,
very old school. Very old school German.
You should, I don't know, you should watch The Longest Day. There's more German in that one. Tschüss. Grüße nach Dänemark. Gute Nacht allen. Gute Nacht zu dir auch. Gute Nacht, mein Liebe. Dankeschön, Harry and Baker. Thank you all for joining us over here. Be back tomorrow with a new streamer. And thank you so much, Harry. I'm going to put on...
Thank you.
I have an outro somewhere. I'm going to do the normal one.
What exhibit are you referring to? I'm going to make this 100, Your Honor. All right. 100.
100.
Because it is 100% correct.
Checking your own.
So you literally built a cannon?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
All
right, I'm in love.
Go back. Please do that again. Oh, that was the cutest thing I've ever seen.
While I'm waiting for this, did you, whether it's true or not, believe that Mr. Randolph had slept with your wife?
I wouldn't care.
You wouldn't have cared?
No.
Did you believe he had slept with your wife?
No.
Did you believe he slept with your mother-in-law?
Probably did. Everybody has.
So there-
Everybody has.